Right. Looks like we're live. Good. It's a dark screen. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, let's see. Yeah. Okay. So, let's see. All right, there we go. Okay. Oh, of course. Whoa. It's at minus 50. What's up with that? I was keeping it at minus 4. Okay. Map. Files. Works. Okay. Getting in. Now, if you're new, for those just joining, we've got the Waterworks right here. This is our 3D model down in the lower right corner of Waterworks straight from Halo 2. We can even click this to render out the texture and tab out of edit mode. Click off that to make it a little more easy to tell. This is the actual Waterworks from Halo 2. We're using this as a guide, a little template. I cut this part off so we can hide it and get to that inner geometry a little easier. But yeah, and in this we have cavity turned on. That gives us these nice light up edges, white lights and dark lines along the edges, which makes it a lot easier to tell what's happening, especially for you guys in that lower tiny little screen in that lower right corner. And we're using this to block out Waterworks, trying to keep it, we're still eyeballing it technically, but we're keeping it as close to this original as possible. There are measurement tools in Blender that I could use to make it even more accurate, but it would be pretty insane to try and do that. Got this here. You know, I had thinned it out a little bit, this column here, but we might end up having to thin it more, or maybe it just needs to move to the left. But that's where we were yesterday whenever we signed off, and I was going to do some more off-stream, I mean, but I decided instead to play some co-op multiplayer. So, let's see. Let's see. So, this is not exactly perfect in shape to the original. I believe it's very close, but it is lining up with that pretty well. And it is lining up here as well. That's not perfect in shape. I used a stone that just already had a good shape to it, that kind of matched that you know, the slope here. So I was thinking that it looked really good because it was designed to look good. You know, it was designed by 343 Industries to look good. I will probably want to do something about that gap, but I think that whenever I do the bake the lighting, it's going to look a lot better. Still, what I'm worried about is that either this base needs to get wider, which is a good possibility. I mean, this is going up to, let's see, that platform there. You know what? Yeah, that's what it is. The platform needs to be widened out a little bit. Not necessarily in actual length here. Like, oh, that's interesting. You can't see my mouse whenever I do that. Okay, well, down here then. This area is probably about right. It might need to go a little bit further out on mine. But this is lining up. This area is where it gets wider. And, oh, okay, I just had to click on it. Now you can see my mouse. This area is a little bit, is right, I think. Problem is that this sloped area needs to be, like, here. And then that's going to give us the ability to add in this little ramp, which I forgot even existed. I'm sure I knew about it whenever it was back in 2004 to 2007. But this tiny little slope here, I'm definitely gonna want to keep because that's a grenade plot. You can also power slide down that a little bit and get a little bit of a boost. I don't know if it's good to have these two sides be even more. This side and that side to be even more imbalanced because there's side paths and then there's the downward path. The downward path has two slopes. On one side it has two, one on each side, and then on the other side it has one in the middle. So that's kind of pretty imbalanced aspect of the map, even classically. And since it's a big team battle, that's not a big deal. But it's just, if I can, whenever I do my redesigned version, like the one-to-one version, I'm just going to remake it how it's supposed to be. It's going to be the redesigned version that's going to be a little bit more modern, so to speak. I'm going to try to convince some people that Big Team Battle is in the wrong button. Is able to be not competitive. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't want to be competitive, but that it can be played competitively. You know what I mean? Like it's an acceptable thing to consider something that's a matter of skill because there's a tremendous amount of skill that goes into. Oh, that was perfect. That goes into Big Team Battle. Mainly that of strategic thinking. Sure. Or before scaling. I'm still getting used to the controls. Pardon me for a moment. Let's do it. That is still the thing that I can't seem to get to do exactly what I want all the time is magnets. I can't always tell when they're working. Which I suspect people are probably going to have a problem with, but only a minor. Alright. So yeah, this side's going to need to be moved down a bit. Just a tiny bit with a little tiny slope in the middle here. Then keep going. But, and that slope is actually going to line up, it lines up right with the edge of this area here, which actually lines up well here. Let's take a look at that again. Yeah, so this slope here is lining up with the bottom of this slope here. Little tiny one. I don't know if you can even see what I was talking about. That's the little slope I'm talking about. I showed it off yesterday. So I kind of just assumed anyone watching would know what I'm talking about, but that's silly. So yeah, that little slope there, you'll come down, you can power slide down, and you can throw grenades at it to pop them up into the air at enemy head height. And that's what we're trying to get here. And it lines up, like I said, with that. So that will help us, actually, if we just do that now, it will help us with blocking out the rest of this. And actually, that means I have to shrink this back down. This to here. Just to remind myself, yeah, the bottom of the ramp? Yes, the bottom of the ramp is where it lines up. That's not what I want. That's strange. Into my... Oh, I see. There was some kind of bug with my... There we go. Because I was holding down the right trigger whenever I clicked away. Okay. Here's where... Gotta go down. Just a bit. Pressing down the right left joystick here. Decrease my movement speed. There we go. That should be about right. It really isn't that much of a... Maybe even that. It's really, really not that much of a slope. Then we'll go ahead and... That's not what I wanted either. Okay, I'm going to hit the A button. There. Basically touch there. And what another thing about it is that this, from this angle, is lined up. But I may have made it too thick. Obviously there's a gap between the path and you can hop down onto that bridge from there. Whenever I thin it out though, it's this thick because right now I don't have the higher portion, the bigger wall that comes up out of it. And so I just haven't worked that out yet. Okay. Now let's see what we got. So there are some slopes. Halo Design Set is probably where I'm going to find it. So that wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad either. That would just be... This would probably be the... Because this one will have that texture. Or to... If you could... Okay, yeah, I can use the mouse. The texture is going to ride up here, and it's going to have a little bit of this, and then it's going to keep going. So the texture that I apply to this is going to not necessarily line up with the edge of this walkway here, and that's not really desirable. But this one means that even if it doesn't line up, it'll stop lining up here at the shift in geometry, which will be much more acceptable. That'll be really easy to work out. Like otherwise, this would be pretty good, or this one, which would both allow me to, I mean, this one would have that same problem. That's why I would say the second of those two. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with. Good question. Since it's hidden, if we go over to the. So. On this, the bottom side. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so I don't need to not move it down. I need to shrink it. Because the underside is actually... Tab into edit mode. And select this. This. And we're going to hit see-through. So, here, I'll just select more so you can see. You might be able to make this out, even if you don't know Blender too well. So this top side and this bottom side are not, you know, they're flush on the bottom. So from below they look flat. From above they've got the slope, and you can kind of make that out on this video here, on that little tiny little tiny screen. So really I need to scale down, not move down. That's all I'm saying. Okay, tap back out of edit mode. Alright, so in that case, this one will keep my flush bottom easier, I think, because it should not be hovering. The gap should not be hovering like this, so this is definitely the one to go with. And just go ahead, just turn it around. Ooh, okay. So this. Okay, here we go. Yeah, snap that. Nope, wrong. Snap that. Okay. Now we gotta make it a little bit wider. We need to snap corner, not the middle. Then we need to go. Nope. Then we need to scale this out. Okay, so that's that. And then we need to scale it vertically. No. Oh, well, that's annoying. Snapping to them. Did we get the height already? Perfect. Wow. No, not perfect. That little tiny lip. That should be enough. Up. There, perfect. Okay, so that's going to give us... That's going to kind of determine the exact slope we're going to be able to use. But the good thing about that is, I mean, it is sort of, you know, trapping us into using that slope there. You know, that exact angle, which is a scaled angle. So now, normally I would say, well, yeah, Bungie used exact angles, but since we scaled it, we didn't. We're no longer using an exact, you know, proper angle. But there's not really much we can do about that because it's just, it's not a big deal, essentially. It's not a big enough deal to warrant changing. Yeah, we're gonna, I would say let's bring this back over here, snap it to that height. Can't we snap more than one object at a time? Not seeing it. Okay. Oh, you know what? We can change the slope, and we actually ought to just a little bit more because the depth is also important, and this is actually pretty deep by comparison to what we have here. Let's go ahead and clear that. Select that. Scale it this way as well. Jeez, of course it's going to go that way. I would say we're looking at that. Snap back. So, okay, that will change our slope a little more, which is actually a little more accurate to what it's looking like in the model. So that actually makes me feel a lot better. Go. Now we're going to said I would like it to magnet. Can I? Oh, okay. Start with this one. This will play up. Oh, still putting the magnets over there. Oh, it's up to that. Bring down the world units to it. Okay. Now, are they not lining up anymore? Feels like I might have moved it this way. It's like that. Anyway. Now that's not right. We're going to have to move all of this way. But what I'm doing is just getting the scale correct. So here, yeah, this is definitely going to be a significant difference between this one and the original, in that height of this, the height change, the thickness change. That's not. I say significant. I mean significant, you know, for authenticity. And yes, I am going a little overboard on authenticity trying to make this as 1-to-1 as possible. Fans of the original will probably appreciate that, even if it takes a little bit more time. Although they probably just want to play it. I know I do. Let's see. Yeah, I need to change this down. Yeah. I don't understand what's going on here. Let's see. Please, like to snap to this, please. If you wouldn't mind. I still don't know what's going on. Snapping tools. Like I can turn off magnets, turn it back on, but that doesn't do anything. And sometimes they kick in, and sometimes they don't. Do I have to like hover over the magnet that I want to snap? No. So strange. Well, it is just too big. Get a little smaller. Jeez. So I don't know what's up with the magnets on these two objects, but something is making them just not engage. Let's go over like this. There. Now we know we're not inside the ramp. Typically it would just snap. Not sure what's going on. It's kind of frustrating because I'm planning on snapping all the rest off of this one. Okay. Well, here's one thought. Clear that. We can select this, and we can go ahead and start scaling it this way. Let's increase a little rapid scaling speed here. Okay. There we go. And then we can convince this one to snap to the bottom of that one, I would think. Is it because it's inside of that other object? Do I have to be able to like have a clean sight line to it for it to allow me to snap it? Like it's inside that one? Okay, well, maybe we'll just try to get the height right with eyeballing it. Okay. We can edit the coordinates. If you come in here, you can actually come and look at the actual object coordinates. And we could, theoretically, work this off of here. Now that is... should be the Z. I guess it's the Y. No, it's not. What? Oh, I'm looking at object mode. Size? Oh, I'm rescaling it. Oh, jeez. Let's make it first. We'll redo that movement. Can't believe I just did that. Okay, vertical. Here we go. We're just going to cut off that 0.4. Confirm. And that is not quite perfect, so we'll just click it. Go to 2. That didn't tick. 0, 2. Confirm. Alright, well there you go. Apparently when in doubt, edit the coordinates. Now these should be able to be snapped to match those. And then we go to scale them quickly. This, yeah, this one's a much nicer piece in that it will actually scale. Yep, look at that, snapped just right, and it's scaled perfectly. Okay, that's how the tools are supposed to work whenever they do work. But they are still a little bit buggy, from what I can tell. Not like, you know, product ruining buggy, just a little bit buggy. That did not snap to anything. Okay, what is it snapping to now? Did I somehow scale this at some point? Fantastic. Okay. So we've got all of these textures going the right way. Got this here. Now I just need to select it all. Moving only along the y-axis. Can I do that? Can I move? Is this averaging out all the objects? No. Damn. Well, interesting. Where did the other one go? I see this one. It's gotta go here again. Where did the other one even disappear? Is it inside of that thing? It is. It's also inside of it. Good. That's simple. So what it did was it put all of them in the same spot. So if you ever want to align objects, that's an easy way to align them. Just grab them all and then go to edit their coordinates, and then you'll have them all lined up exactly in the same spot. And that spot, by the way, the reason this one weren't colliding with each other is because they're separate. They're not just separate objects. They're actually turned around, and their pivot point is right here, right where I'm aiming, or right around there. And basically, so that's their point of origin. So they were in the same spot. They're currently in the same spot because I snapped them to each other with that exact central point anyway. We're just going to move it out. Line it up. Move this out. I want to snap at that. Snap there. There we go. And now that that's lined up, we can actually scale this up. Touch there. And boom. Nope. Ah. We lost our side to side adjustment. Whenever I was moving it, I must adjust slightly. Oh, that's not what I want. But you can't undo a bunch of objects. If you try to undo the movement of a bunch of objects, I think prefabs stay together and stay where they're supposed to be. But if it's not a prefab, you can, if you hit undo with more than one object selected, there's a chance that it will just mangle them. That yesterday. It's awful. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to select this and just delete it. We're going to select this, and we're going to duplicate it. Drag it over here. Snap it to there. Well, once again, hopefully the snapping tools will engage with this piece here. Nope, does not care. Come on now. A little bit better. Looks like it lines up. Okay, cool. We're gonna do. We'll actually put the textures on here before we duplicate it. Save some time. Let's see. Still on design grid. We're on Forerunner panel C. Is the correct. So design grid. We'll go to Forerunner panel C. Now these are solid metal on the bottom. I think. Let me make sure. This is a different texture on the bottom than it is on the top on the original. We're going to want to change that. It is. It is, in fact, set to just the original metal. So we're going to change this bottom part to... Wait, Forerunner basic metals at the top of the Forerunner section. Forerunner metal simple. And what that is the same metal we used there, except different dirt style. I am changing this dirt style off of this because I use the corrugated metal, I believe. At least on one of these. Yeah, so the way they shine, I believe I use the corrugated metal for that, and I'm not sure I like it. The dirt, yeah, metal corrugated. And I think I changed that yesterday, and then didn't save that very last change. So we're going to go with grime, because that just actually feels more correct. What we did, I think what I did was I did increase the grime amount to like that, because it's really dirty metal back in the Halo 2 era. And I believe I shifted this some like color of red or something. It's darker. No, it wasn't red. It's a really rusty color on the original. That's why But I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about this right now. I'm getting into the nitty-gritty of some nonsense I don't need to be touching. Oh yeah. Jeez. So the thing about these ramps that I found over here, and actually it's the same ramp I used over here, is that I had to recolor this top portion because it just doesn't match for some reason. Like, you have to pick a darker color gray, sort of make it match as best you can. And it's not really ever going to. But fortunately, I think this area is low enough light that you may not notice in the final build. But right now we're just daylight, and Waterworks is not built for daylight. But also, that's not too bad. I mean, obviously, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. Left on the D-pad used to be how you go into edit mode in, you know, Halo 2 Anniversary, and then Halo Reach, I believe? Or you go into play mode, rather. Okay, so this looks really good. Yeah, so you can get a bit of a speed boost there. And, but yeah, I ended up hitting the left on the D-pad by accident all the time now, and that's the delete button now. So if you ever see me delete something, that would be why. Scratch amount. Yeah, we don't want scratches because that's going to make... it adds that to the corners. That's like the corners of the map. Not dirt flat. Let's see if we can find something else. Oh, that's right, I remember now. The, there's no, what was it? I don't remember what the term is for the other one. Not moss. Mud. Yeah, the pattern apparently is not going to... You know what, though? It actually can be brought down. Primarily because it's, I mean, being a slope, it's not going to be perfectly clean. Being a slope, I would expect to see less of it here. Problem is that, it's weird. It's kind of spotty. I don't know. Feels a little weird. But maybe it won't in the actual game. An actual match, you may not even notice. But, you know, when water rushes down a slope, it's going to take off a lot of the dirt. And that's what I'm looking at here. Okay, so that looks a lot better. Oh, I've got... Can't even see anything on this little thing. Okay. So yeah, that looks a lot better. We're gonna have to work on the railing and then the building in the middle. I think the building in the middle should probably come next, mainly because I need to know how wide these little paths are. I know my mouse is on that little tiny screen. I need to know how wide these little paths are going to be. And until I know that, I don't know if I need to scale this down. I probably do. I think this is how wide they are now, but obviously they slope inward. Oh, and those are the lights that light up this area. So there are some lights directly pointing at it. So that's a little unfortunate, but not too big of a deal. But yeah, this width here is what we're actually targeting. But I think that actually, if you go straight down with this, you hit that, the path there. So maybe I've got it around the right width right now. I just kind of eyeballed it near the beginning. So I do. That's luck. But I'm definitely going to design this area and then copy it in to make this slope. I'll just leave it as a sharp cutoff here. Until then. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into that. I think, though, that we do have... Like, that looks like the right amount of clearance for a tank to drive through, and that tank is hovering and everything, too, so even better. And this area looks like it's getting started. And I think that this is the correct location. Here and here. Oh, right, vertically. That's the question. That's one of the questions that I had before, and that is if we're looking at the ramp, we're going to flatten that ramp out with our view and sort of center it. Will we see the exact, height of this line here, which the line itself is not appearing, but you can kind of see the edge of this line and that line. Versus, okay, that's the railing, which means the platform's even lower than that. So if we line up with the ramp over here, that to center ourselves. What are we getting here as far as height? As far as height is concerned, honestly, as far as height is concerned, it might be that the entire thing in mine is too tall. Just a little bit, but I could be wrong. Does maybe look a bit like, because these two ramps are at the pretty much at the exact same angle and pretty much at the exact same location relative to the rocks around it. But what might be the problem is the rocks down here will be raised, so rather than mess with all of that stuff that's all precisely placed, I think we would want to just select these things and raise them up. So the actual height of the map itself is more variable. I mean, that's my roof, so I may still have to grab everything and move it down, but that's pretty high roof. That should cover my entire map and allow me to fill it all out, but we'll see. I might have to, like I said, might have to grab the entire map. And so if we want to move this up just a bit, line up ramp, I would say, yeah, that's... Honestly, that looks right as far as I'm concerned. Which, by the way, over here, I just did it again. There we go. That undo button is really important. Like, I've got it set up to where there was sort of a skill jump there where you had to sprint and then duck jump and then clamber. But now it's going to be a little bit more of a just leap up here. And I think having that avenue to getting to the middle of the map might encourage people to move forward and leave their bases. But otherwise, as you can see, I mean, I had the slope, and I was getting the slope just right, this angle-wise. But then that made this little difference here. So honestly, this can probably move back down to there. That'll probably be just fine. And that should get us back our... okay, yeah, see, I even missed it just now. So if you do that, you have to duck as you jump, or else you won't make it up. Which is... you know, pretty cool to me. Okay, a little skill jump there. So we need to go ahead and do this central building. That's what we're doing next. Now, to do that, I'm going to get this out the way. That's not the right one. Let me get this out the way. That way we can really see these slopes and angles properly. Unfortunately, we can't do that in the main game. I kind of put those in earlier. Didn't think about how I should build out from the inside. But if you're making a map like this in the future, I would highly suggest it. Now, the doorways on either side would be a good place to start. Flat wall here would be a good place to start. Yeah, I think what I'm going to have to do is flat square panel here. And then this one's going to have to be a triangle, I think. We're going to see how textures line up for that. Actually, wait. Would this be... No. Well, yeah. This be another good spot for one of these ramps up here? Yes. Yes, it would. I think. Obviously, discoloration of the metal is going to be a problem, again. But what I'm going to do to get around that is, in the... Yes, the one-to-one version will suffer in that regard. But the cool thing is that the final version, that with all the updated geometry, where the bases are like rebuilt and everything, that version is going to not suffer quite so much. Why is it getting wider? Definitely turned off with. Oh, I see. I actually did not turn off width, but because of the width is green and blue right now. Okay, that's not quite. There we go. Oh. So this may not work fully like I wanted to. Okay. Okay, this will get me my slope there. But actually, this isn't going to unify my texture anyway, I suppose. Maybe it's not worth it. You know, like, the whole purpose of this was I was realizing that I could unify a texture across the slope, the change in geometry. But the thing is that may not actually work. Mainly because the this doesn't have a unified texture. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we're looking at here. So let's bring this back for a second. Yeah, it completely blocks it. Okay, so it comes up from right about here. A little bit more to the left. I really do want it to line up with this. So that seems to be the exact right spots. Please stop snapping. Okay, so now that's... I don't understand this. Sometimes it snaps whenever I don't want it to, and then it doesn't snap whenever I do want it to. There's definitely some texture jitter here, and that would be this thing's fault. Turn it around. So whenever I rescale it, it doesn't change its location based on those paths, but just its location based on this. Looks like the texture jitter is solved. Okay, cool. So that feels about right. Well, yeah, I should have kept this probably at its intended slope. I need to keep it at this angle. Its intended slope is actually shallower, so I can't even keep it at the intended slope of the shape. Okay, so I need to line this up over here and use it as a guide. Oh, okay. Hold on. Might be perfect already. Is that perfect? Just barely not perfect. It's Forerunner geometry, so it needs to be perfect. You know? I don't know about you, but that seems to be the case for me. That everything is at perfect right angles. Yep, that's it. Okay, do that. Now I've got it over here. Now the thing about that is basically you keep the wall going and just keep it square. I believe if we do have to scale this down at all, it'll just be it'll be the whole thing will scale down, so we won't adjust it any more than we already had to. And we can do okay, so this one's texture, by the way, is going to be what I was just thinking about was, yeah, it's going to be the Forerunner metal. Simple. But the problem is that we're going to see how much it changes. The shade there. Yeah, a lot. Okay, so we need to get that. Try and be... Problem is, it's even a bit of a yellow shift. Like, we need it to be a really light bluish kind of color. A slightly blue-gray. And that is not... Seems to me like the object shouldn't come with color correction built into it. And I wonder if 343 is aware of this as a bug. Because this is definitely a bug. Okay, well. I'll probably have to shift that to a different texture and just let it be different. We'll see. Like I said, the one-to-one version I keep exactly like this. But, turn on magnets. Let them snap to each other. Nope, that's not what I want. Okay, what I would really love is the ability to lock to a specific direction. turn off this before I like if I could only move on the x-axis, you know? That's red, by the way. You can see at the bottom of the screen, there's red, green, blue. That's the x-axis. And if I could make it to where only, if I could press a button and lock it to only one direction, like you do with scaling, how you can shift which direction, you could do that with movement, which there's no button for. A just, you know, goes down in this case. That would be a great tool to have. Now this other side is going to be, let's see. I could make it like this and make another slope, but that would require me to put a panel in the middle. And I think the better option would be to make this slope go to here and go this way. That as one big piece. Which would be, I believe, not one of these, one of these. Yeah, yeah. So if we go ahead and get what I mean in a second, if you don't already, scale this down to 0. Then we're going to go to this, scale it up. Then we're going to rotate it around like this. And then around like this. And this will be, that gets us our shape that we're looking for. Now we just need to get that slope to line up correctly. And this can go all the way out there. Second. Okay. All right. Well, really, it's going to have to depend on what angle we want that thing to be. Because obviously, by making it wider, yeah, we're getting to cover more of the wall, but no. Our right angle. So what we're going to do is, this is a 90-degree slope because I turned it with the snapping tool. Turn this around, match the slope. Like we were doing before. Then that should keep us nice and square. Okay, so we're going to end up with a little square of a block. We're not going to end up with a nice wide one that goes along with it. Turn it around, put it in position, and this will tell us exactly where we need to put our other blocks to make everything match up. Obviously, we can't really position it until we have our block underneath, know exactly where to snap it, and that this may not be the right scale. So we've got to figure all this stuff out. One thing to keep in mind on this 3D model is that Master Chief is probably around this tall. With these doors is they're a little jumbo, a little bit bigger, a little forerunnery. Yeah. Okay. We have a light up here too, it looks like. Go into the texture. This is a simple texture. This is texture with lighting. We can actually see a little better with the simple texture. There is. You can turn on. I never even tried to do this. Wireframe face orientation. No. Yeah, we can do face orientation, but that's not really gonna help us here. We want to do. I was just trying to see if there's cavity. in there. So if there was cavity with this, that would look great. So there's a light right there. That's going to be the thing that lights up this whole area. And with nice reflection volumes on the textures, that's going to be really cool. Okay, so I do believe that I probably made these platforms a little too thin, because they're actually quite thick. They're thicker than the side railing, and the side railing is probably going to be as thin as I can make it. So, alright, you can't scale more than one object at a time. That looks, let's see. Oh, but I don't know the size. It's going to be really hard to scale and judge until I know the height. Yep, that's what I need to figure out. How to tell this height here. Probably be to look at it from the front and examine it and like really compare it to over here. Which means we need to... Actually, it's about the right angle. Cool thing is that we can line up our camera angle, see it. This, go between the two, then we can actually, this is, geez, it's not going to go down, it's going to go itself. Turn on magnets again. Turn on, let's see. The right scale looks about right now. Yeah, it was just too big before. So we need to off magnets again. Slide it this way. Down. It's no good. Means our scale is off. Was it perfect before? No. Okay, turn magnets back up. Snap it back down. Is this actually? Yeah. Okay, cool. Now it's snapping. It's that's fine. Okay. This. And like this. Okay, so that should be the correct size. And now all we need to do is come in here and look at the thickness. This, don't look at that thickness. That thickness is thrown off by a bit of extra geometry there. We're just at this. Just looking at that. It is in fact too thin. Just like I was thinking before, but I wasn't actually able to judge it before. So clear that, delete this version, select this one, duplicate it. Kinda wish it duplicated it to the left, but that's okay. Let's see, grab it, turn off snapping. That at very minute amount of movement. I guess I should just snap it to, like I did here, like I did on the other side. Then this way, snapping. So does the snapping have to do with how close you are to the object? Could, you know, could be. That might be what I'm having trouble with. Okay. So now we had this floor. I think I just sort of eyeballed that thing's location by looking at it here, but honestly, I don't think I did a good job because got our slope, and then we've got a little bit of extra space, and then we've got a little bit more in here. Maybe I did. Maybe that's right. Slope, space. No, I think this is actually supposed to be shorter. Turn it around again. Back to the way we had it before. Actually, no. Shrinking it down made it feel wrong. I think it's right how it is. Actually, maybe it even needs to be bigger. Who knows? Or if not bigger, then this needs to be brought out. It does. Both of these need to be brought in more. Because you know why? That gap there is too big. Because as you can see over here, this is almost lined up with this line, which means both actually need to be farther than that. I was just going off the floor, but it's not actually right to do so. There we go. We've got that. You know what? We've been doing a lot. Let's save. Always remember to save. They did supposedly fix with an update that you don't get booted from a forge map, you know, after 15 minutes of it going idle. Which means they said they bumped it up to 12 hours. 12 hours, supposedly. So, hopefully. Oh, you know what? I just realized I was trying to match that to that color. Silly. That is nonsense. You need to just match it to the other color to the left of it. Which is just as hard. That's really close to being helpful. If that, like, periwinkle color is like a little darker, a little more green. Kind of what turquoise do we have? None of them that's that high of a hue that it won't shift the entire color of the platform. I really hope that eventually they're going to have like a full-blown color wheel style color picker in there, because being able to shift like this is great. I don't know if that's even possible because you have to save off all those colors. Like it takes file, so it takes like RAM every time you load up a map to pull in all of those different colors, because you have to be able to you know what I mean, and then put every single time you make an object use one, like every time we do, it uses RAM to tell it, hey, that's not supposed to look like that, and then it has to render that out, and it's a little bit iffy. Let's turn on magnets. Go, it magneted, and it's the right width. Perfect. Okay. So that would be not where I want it, but how I want it. And I might still need to scale it up to the actual level geometry. Let's see. We go with, let's see how big this is. That's pretty big. Okay, cool. Move up it so that you can attack people coming through the doorway from above, which is yet another imbalance in the original map. Let me see. Wow. I mean, you can do kind of the same thing from the side over here. It doesn't give you height advantage. And this area is even protected from snipers by these side panels. So this side is interesting. It's got the slope, so you can attack from above, or you can be around the corner. It's got a wider base, so you have, you know, an easier time sniping from it. Well, maybe not easier, actually. I'll explain why in a second. It's also got this area up here, which the other one lacks entirely. The other side lacks entirely, that you can snipe from. A little geometry missing because I still have this turned off. Yeah. It's just this side is just a superior side, which means that, like, looking at the base from here versus looking at the base from here is a kind of a weakness of this map. As far as level design is concerned, I might have to, in my version, try to balance this out in some way. Oh, but what I was going to say is that the reason you might want to snipe from over here is that these are much taller, almost crenellation style protection for you, whereas over here you don't have that here. So, but you do have these. So maybe it's just as good, or maybe it is better. I suppose if you could find a way up here, then you could attack from above, but that's, you'd need a repulsor to get up there in Infinite. And you'd need to hop on heads to get up there in Halo 2. So we need the doors. Now the game object we're going to use, I think there is a door that is actually comes with ramps. That's why it's not in there. Doorways. What's doorways MP? Is that multiplayer? But like, why? Why is it called MP? What's the difference? Oh, okay, I see. Because it's the same doorways, but they work better. Oh. Oh, geez. Are these not going to discolor my things? Hold on. Hold on. I might have just figured out, no. Can't change the color of this at all. Okay. I don't know what MP stands for anymore. That seems strange. MP. Non-telescoping and material swaps are not allowed. Oh, I see. So if I grab this here, I understand now. That's what's so important about this. You can actually adjust. Okay. But texture swaps are not allowed on these kinds of objects that can scale. Well, no, actually they are on the Forerunner block. So I assume that this is a temporary limitation or something like that, but yeah, the that's pretty interesting. Because that could be useful in some regards, but can't use it until the textures can be swapped. At least I'm not going to. That's why these textures are non-metal looking for Forerunner, but these they put as a metal Forerunner looking texture. Even though it's a really bare bones, basic. I don't even think it's the same. It's not even the Forerunner texture that they use. But anyway, because you can't swap it, but they're worried about whether or not you're going to be able to use it. So these angles are too sharp, and so I'm going to have to build out the little cutout angle into a doorway. What we're going to do then is, technically I could use this. I might just build think we're gonna go, oh, the crates. These crates have rounded corners. That could be useful if you scale it up and scale it to the right size. If you need rounded corners on a platform, that would actually look really good. Can you scale these? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, like, if you wanted to do a platform that has rounded corners, that's really cool. Might be good for Covenant. Obviously, you're gonna want to try and use rounded objects, like actual curves. Okay, so you've got covers. I'm probably gonna use these for the rails. Separate from the rocks. I know. I'm getting a little off topic here. So you can get interesting. Asphalt. Anyway. Sorry, just playing around a little bit for a minute there. About objects we've got. Okay, we need a doorway. We need to close Halo Design Set. I think we're going to need to use structures and see if we can get doors here and see what they're going to have, because they might have some clipped corner doors. That's interesting shape. I've got to find out what's going on at the bottom there. Interesting. Okay, well that's really cool, but that's not what we're looking for, because it's too big. That's a big kind of what do you call it? A wooden gate. And these are some clipped corner doors. Now, question is if enough of the corner is clipped on those to really sell the aesthetic. Let's bring it down. Well, let's bring that up though. Okay, so let's bring this over here. Yeah, we'll snap it there. That's fine. And then we can turn off snapping and move here. Actually put this straight into the wall. Straight out. I mean, I can scale it down if I need to. Line it. Let's see. Door does feel about right for the Forerunner doorways. I might have to boot up Master Chief Collection left screen. In fact, let's do that. Whoop, that's not what I want to do. What? Huh. Forgot that I put that in there as I hold down the Y button to drop it. Okay. I was gonna try and save it, but I was not in build mode. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and... Can you see that poking out? No, it's just a hover of the outer rim because I'm looking at it. You can't actually see it in 3D. Okay. And obviously we gotta work out the texture. Just to make sure this is even worth trying to put here. Gotta put our Forerunner texture on there. Ooh. Did I go the wrong way? I think there are more with this door. Obviously it's in alphabetical order and I should have gone up from the U, but whatever. Okay, so we're gonna go with Forerunner. Wait, what? Floor panel? Forerunner panel. They don't have Forerunner basic metal on this one. Wall pattern. Wall panel. Trim panels. Like trim panels 3 a bit. Doesn't line up with the geometry though. That one's not bad. So just Forerunner panel L looks okay. Forerunner panel K looks good. This one's just J. That's not bad. Very simple. Crooked? Yes. 3 for 3, come on. This is a messy texture. I think. Pretty sure it is. It looks like it's warped. Your UV unwrap got messed up. Some of these are fine. Like this one, that circle is also warped. You can see the curve of that line there. See how that starts over here, curves down, and then comes back up? Come on. Come on, 3 for 3. Fix your UV unwraps. Okay. I realize they are under a lot of stress. Enamel smooth. Okay, this is no longer Forerunner. Okay, I did like, what was it? Panel, was it panel L? Panel J? Unicy trim, what? Why is it gone back to Unicy? Oh, I closed region 1 by accident. You can really see that curve in most of these. Jeez, that really wrecks this item. Let me see if it's messed up on the other side, because if I can turn it around. Nope. Okay. I don't know if we can use... I mean, it looks fine here. You have to look real close to even notice it's there. You won't notice that. But this particular texture is the only one that might work. Which is kind of disappointing, but I was hoping to have options. What is this changing? Is this the floor? Region 2. The other side? Oh, is it the side panel? I see. No? Well, if we can pick it something... You know what? We'll change the color. Change it to red. Something really obvious. Okay, so it should... Oh, I'm being dumb. I just have to actually select something for it to switch. Whenever I switched to looking at it from the side here, I forgot about that. Okay. Here we go. Forerunner. Panel. Oh, they've got the simple metal here. Oh, emissive. That's cool looking. But man, what? I did the thing, the shortcut. You can go left and right here. I did the shortcut by mistake. Okay, and region 3. That's the inside. Okay. Will this one allow me to do simple metal? Nope. Actually look at it. Dude, that looks great. I just put that on there, but just threw it on there, but it's got a nice little, you know, arrow pointing inward. Looks pretty cool. Now, this is not exactly like the original, because the original has, you know, just the same texture goes all the way down, but oh my gosh. Is that actual Bungie UV unwrapping? Well, whenever we go into Master Chief Collection, we'll see. It might have gotten messed up by the person who exported the file, but that is sloped in a weird way. Maybe they missed it. Maybe they had to fix something and they missed that part. Who knows? Yeah, let's go ahead and pull up Master Chief Collection. I think my computer can handle all 3, Blender, Master Chief Collection, and Halo Infinite. It has in the past, but I wasn't in Forge in the past, so who knows? There have also been other updates to the game, so hopefully my computer can handle all this at one time. It's been almost 2 hours. We have gotten quite a bit of work done. We put that slope there, which had required us to move everything around. We adjusted everything correctly to the height, like all of this. We created this stuff and everything like that. It's been just about an hour and a half almost, so that's not bad. It's definitely taking me longer than I planned, but once I get this central area blocked out, the rest of it is rocks, and rocks are very easy. Just find it, put it, find a good rock that looks like it, in the ground, of course, and make it match the shape. So that's gonna be really fast. And then the main bases, but I only have to make one of them because I can copy it and put it to the other side. So the central building is the hardest thing. Custom game browser. Nope. Custom multiplayer. Halo 2 Classic. Not lockout. We're gonna go all the way to Waterworks, which is not. I don't think that's alphabetical. Let's see. Options. We're going to go ahead. Match options. We're gonna turn. Oh, round time limit is none. Okay. Cool. That's what. I probably left it that way whenever I was looking at it last time. So, the God Rays, central structure. Got our pulsating pump. Love. Shakes, there's some dirt that falls from the sky. I can do all of that in Halo Infinite very easily. Go up the ladder, and the sword is right here. I actually couldn't remember the other day, yesterday or something. Whenever I was talking about that, I couldn't remember if it was there or across the way. Okay, so we're talking about this side here. This side, the doors are like this. Let's tab to, yeah, infinite, that's correct. Okay, and go into the game, look up at it. Yeah, our corner is not quite clipped enough. It doesn't quite feel right. I definitely say that. And the height is significantly taller than it needs to be. Let's see what happens whenever we scale it. Is it wider than it needs? As wide as it needs to be is the question. So it's got this weird bonus height here. But I would say, I mean, and by the way, these are both set to the same exact what do you call it? Field of view. So we're going to go ahead and select this and see what happens when we scale it down. Nope, that was wrong. Didn't get rid of the red side. We just went blue. Yeah, that's not going to change that angle enough to really do anything. So it still feels a little bit short there. I could probably just add something there because this looks really cool. Even with the weird texture bug. Could probably add a little tiny corner right there and make it blend. So let's go ahead and select it and grab it. That's not what I want to do. Select it and grab it and bring it this way. So that it just stays inside the wall there. What we're going to also do is, nope, this one, I'm going to scale it a little bit that way and then to the wall. Nope, not that far. We're going to bring that down and move halfway that distance. There we go. That'll get rid of the slip on that side, make it square, flush, boom. Whenever this is the same over there, it's going to make this a lot easier to, like, you know, really tell what we're looking at. Okay, then that corner I want to clip by adding another object there. For now, I will select it, and you can see how much rustier everything is in. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to duplicate it. You can see how much rustier everything is in Halo 2's version. Like super rusty. And then, so I'm gonna try to kind of get that effect. There we go. But the dirt is mostly what I'm getting. I could hue shift the, no, I can't hue shift the dirt. No. But I could pick something that's a little redder, a little rustier looking. In fact, you know what? There probably is a rusty metal. I could probably select everything and grab a rusty metal texture. I know, I'm just messing with these and I'm not building the map and it's probably getting on people's nerves if they're watching, but let me try rusty metal, rubber, rust. Does rust only apply to scratches? Rusto 1. Maybe that's better. Yeah, that looks nice. Huh. Looks real good. Try Rusto 2 just to see. It looks about the same. I guess it's if you have two objects that look the same, that are the same object next to each other, you don't want them to have the exact same rust texture as well. So you can see how rusty that is. It's like green with rust. It's like green metal. Like it's almost oxidized copper mixed with, you know, oxidized iron. You know? Or like some kind of lichen is growing on a rusty surface, but yeah. Got our little slope here. Let's see if this path feels the right width. Because that is very important, and it looks to me like it isn't, to be honest. Let's see. I mean, we don't have our wall up yet. We don't have a railing. A railing may come up straight from the metal, because it does in the original. This definitely feels a lot wider. A lot wider. Which means this middle area is going to suffer in scale, or the whole thing will be too wide. One or the other. That being said, this path... I think I've got to go over to Blender, take a look at that, and then come at it. It feels a little bit tight on mine. Yeah, it feels tight on the original, actually. That's interesting. Yeah, so if I put my railing coming straight up from the path that I have over there, it should feel fine. It should feel like the right width. Let's take a look and see by building some railing. Cover on Forerunner. Yeah, I mean on UNSC, it's not going to have what we're looking for. Design set, cover, half size, quarter size, full cover, standard size. Yeah, well, it's ankle cover. It's probably what we're looking for. Then we will scale it to match. And hopefully this doesn't have messed up coloring. Turn this back on. Okay, so that is actually very small. Whenever it says ankle size, it means it. Let's see. Is that the right thickness? No, it's actually probably a little more. I like that, actually, and that is probably the right height now, too. Maybe a little too tall, maybe a little too wide. Let's go back to, should have left Master Chief Collection unpaused. Let's see. Okay, so that's a great example of it right there. We're gonna take a look. Nope, it's wrong. That's more like it. And it actually might be a little bit thinner, but nope, not what I want. Alright, now, if I line that up with that, and then I scale it all the way to the slope. Go. Then we will have a good representation, but I should have duplicated it just because now a huge one that I went to rescale back down. Okay. Alright. Now, will this have lots of Z fighting whenever we snap that and then rotate it to 45 degrees, or will it be? If there's some Z fighting, there is. Then we can scale one of them a little bit to fix it. Okay, so that is not at an actual proper angle there for that floor piece. Okay, we're going to rotation reset, turn it to 15 degrees and rotate it. Snap to there. That should be the angle we're working with for the floor. But we are not have that. So we need to scale this a bit until it matches that. Fortunately, it will be that easy. Unfortunately, it means that we're going to have to mirror it and copy it and move it around and all that kind of stuff again. What? Oh. That's actually not the end of the world. That'll be easy to fix. Okay, we still need to rotate this around. Alright. Okay, we're gonna come down. Eighth. There we go. And then this will come over and place. We already have it turned around, so I can just scale it down to here. It does make the mud on here look really weird and out of place. That mud's all stretched that way. This mud is stretched in all directions, so it looks great. I might need to put a little tiny panel here or something, or just stretch this to here. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. The obvious solution is to bring this in. Not be a dummy about it. Bring this in. Select this. U-turn it. Scale it. I don't know why I wasn't doing it like that to begin with. Since I have the slopes over here, I kind of have to do it this way over here. Keep it there. But I can still put a little square here instead of stretching it so far this way. Because I didn't think about how these walls breaking up that dirt layer, and then it's still consistent, like going consistently across into the other part, look really weird. This being rust and the rest being dirt also still looks really weird, but we'll get to that. So oh, that's all I wanted to do. I want to turn this around. Scale it up until it touches there. There we go. Then I need to deselect, select this, duplicate it, flip it over, drag it over here, line it up there. Deselect it, select the old one, drag it out, delete it. Now, does this feel right? That's the question. Does this feel like the correct correct width? No, this is not the correct width. This is definitely a little bit off. But let's see. 1 second. Okay, let's see. Cool, okay, I'm back. Here we go. So the width here definitely needs to be brought down. I don't know if I need to bring it in. I don't think I need to bring it in. I think I need to bring that side this way. Like sort of, so to speak, sort of shrink it toward this side. And obviously I can't really do that. I am gonna, let me get this middle part built out, and then I'll know how wide this section is supposed to be. And it'll feel a lot better. And I think to get the width between these two doors, I need to build the door that's going to go over there. And the reason is because, let's resume, let's go back to Master Chief Collection. This is the reason why. So this side, yeah, I could just eyeball it. I could put a panel there and I could sort of figure that out. But does not answer the question about this side. Because this side has the door in the middle. This column in the middle, which is kind of weird. But anyway, the point is that this ramp coming down in the middle will actually be, I want this to be the right width. And if for this to be the right width, it will actually determine that. Like, I've got my railing to where it doesn't clip into each other, goes next to each other, really nice and easy. And then in the middle there, you know, and then I've got my width here correct, then that will measure out the entire rest of the base off of it. Or not base, but building. It's gonna be really cool. I'm gonna save this off as a prefab, this entire building, because if anybody wants to use this Waterworks, it's gonna be really cool. Yeah. You can put this entire building into your own base, into your own maps, you know, or just start with it and build off of it. So we're gonna leave it going. Get some nice Waterworks aesthetic, some nice background, and you know, audio. That's actually pretty nice. I'm liking this. Having Master Chief Collection up. Okay, so what we need to do is build out this wall to here. Once we have the wall built out to here, we can start centering our ramp. We need our ramps coming off of those. I think these doors are correct height and width. So we need a ramp coming down from them, which will need to probably be, honestly, I could probably just grab this and duplicate it and drag it, snap it. it'll snap to the door. That would be nice. Snapping is on, right? Yeah, magnet's on. I swear, sometimes I really don't understand it. Now it's snapping. The wrong thing. I want it to snap to this, please. Thank you. Yeah, that's weird. Well, anyway, it'll stop doing that. It's trying to snap to the middle of that panel. It'll stop doing that whenever I rotate it. So we're going to switch this to... what do you think the angle is? What do you think the angle is? Let's find out. Let's bring it over to Blender. What is this angle inside of here? Can't get a good angle on it from here. If I had to guess, I would say almost 45 degrees, right? These slopes, they might have just said, yeah, figure out what slope you need and connect the 2 points. You might not have hit a specific angle. Yeah, that's not 45 degrees. This is 45 degrees. That's more like, I don't know, let's see. Let's see what we got. We can do this. That would be 15 degrees. It's actually pretty close to what it feels like. Let's take a look at where I can magnet this to. Come on, magnet to the door, please. Are you serious? Does this door not have magnets? It's got magnets. Please magnet to the door, please, if you would. That would be very nice. Very kind of you. Magnet to the door, please. I really don't know how to get this thing to... Nope, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, see, it's trying to grab magnets to... Oh, is it going to the door now? No, it's still going to the wall. Okay, well, it's the right height. Then let's turn off magnets and line it up this way. Height, actually. Really wish that snapping tool was a little more consistent. Okay, there's a bump there. Kind of a bump there in general. Maybe I should move that down. Definitely no bump there. Don't want to hit. Bump. That gets rid of the bump. Very smooth. Now the ramp looks wrong now, but that's that. Nope, still looks wrong. There we go. Smooth. Smooth. Okay. That's what we need. I'll be duplicating all of this again and moving it over there. I was just trying to see what that door was whenever I put it there. Okay, is this the right angle, though? Is this the correct angle? Let's go back to Master Chief Collection and Let's see what we got in here. No. I would say that 15 degrees is definitely wrong. It's not 90. This would be a lot steeper if it was 90. But I don't believe that this is correct. Like, this is not the right slope for me to, let's see, let me show you. This is definitely not right. And I think it's going to have to be, I'm going to do this. I'm going to look down there, this. I'm going to look down there like this. Yeah, this is not the right angle at all. Actually, let me get back to the doors and the frame. I think it's going to have to be 30 degrees. Which also makes sense. So that would be 30 degrees. Let's see. That seems extreme, but you'd be surprised. There are actual 90-degree slopes in original Halo. Like original Halo, I mean Bungie Halo. Okay, let's go up somewhere in between those two points. But always like nudge it. Go into its coordinates, but let's see. That feels closer, but it's still, that's too much. That feels like too much. Please move your gun, Master Chief. Okay. So, we need to switch to, we need to bring this down to 5 degrees and go a bit more. Let's try this. Closer. It looks like it was just 20 degrees. Like, whenever I started, I was at 15, and it felt like too little. And just every bit that I've added so far has been just a little too much. And I think that that was because what we're actually looking at is 50 degrees, which is 5 more than we started with. Is that right? Hmm. Yeah. We need a railing? Really tell? Or is that not enough now? The length of the path is probably... yeah, well, I mean... The length of the ramp is probably also going to mess us up. Because I'm thinking in terms of exactly where I'm at, you know? But I need to think in terms of where this is actually going to go. Once I get the length right. And it just goes down to literally the other path. Like it's... This one also, yeah, they just go down to each other's doorways. So this should... Actually, that might not be wrong. That's actually pretty right. I mean, it needs to actually be a little bit longer. And we've got it turned around. Of course. Okay, well, let's turn it back around. Fortunately, we've got... Let's realign it. Bring this up to 15. All the way around. could have just gone nuts. And bring it back down to, or bring it up to 15. And this up to. Oh. Okay, so we're at 25 degrees, not 20 degrees. Okay, that's much more. That feels more correct. The 20 was what was really throwing me off. I felt like it was. There's no way it was that. Let's go a little bit further down. So it looks like somehow got a little bit off. And let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. And then what we can do is we can actually fly over here, grab it, scale it, and we can now stretch it out a little further. And that'll go there. Now on slopes, I'm doing I'm going to do less grime on slopes because, or maybe switch it to scratches. But oh yeah, we were doing rust. Paint rust. Yeah, I guess I'll keep the rust then. I'll bring this back up. Yeah, that looks so much better. Because that length was throwing me off a little bit. It did feel like I wasn't quite having to look up as much in the Halo Infinite. But now it looks like it's correct, so that's good. Okay. So, got that. And now we need to put its railings on to make sure it's the right width and everything. And what we're going to do is we're going to select this. It should be just about perfect. To then proceed to rotate it by 15 degrees this way, and then 5 should be correct. Oh no, we only did 5 once. Oh, okay. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe we're not at 25. Maybe we are at 20. I could have sworn. Anyway, we're gonna turn on magnets and snap them to there, and adjust the length. Boom, we've got ourselves a railing. Now, whenever Master Chief is in here, whenever Spartan is in here, we don't want to snap to that magnet. I see. And at the bottom, we want a clean cutoff too, a vertical little clean cutoff there. Okay. Oh, you know what? Looks like. Yeah, it should be a clean line there. It needs to be. Oh, okay. That's good. That's gonna be nice to work out. Maybe maybe it won't be nice because these angles are not. They're very irregular. It's gonna be out, but we'll figure it out. That's another rail, obviously, and then we straight up and down rail here to sort of clip into it and add a point of interest. And what we'll do is we'll actually make it look nice. We'll add something fancy there. But yeah. But up here, you really just need to select it and to go up here somehow. That's not what we're looking for. this to be not clipping to anything too much. You know, I do want to set this to Forerunner metal simple. The walls, I believe, I'm going to be Forerunner metal simple for everything. And the floor is the other thing. But I am gonna go down. Yeah, okay, yeah. Grime. Go to rust. Nope, that's rubber. Rock. What? Okay, so there isn't a rusty metal. Is there like a metal rust under M? Let's go look for it. Metal iron rough. Metal gray blue. Metal brushed. Worn brass looks good. It's got a bit of a red kind of hue to it. Metal smooth, yep. Okay, let's go take a closer look at that. Gameplay. Does seem a bit nice and rusty, I suppose. Well, anyway. I think a lot of this is going to be color shifted because, I mean, as you can see in Master Chief Collection, it's less of a gray, more of an orange of how exactly rusty it is. Maybe even a green. I might make the metal green and then put a rust effect on it. Might be what I'm looking for. This is actually the rust that has the most texture. I mean, there's a little bit of like a horizontal shape, or like texture to that, but doorways are a lot thinner here. Wonder, I think I could probably thin that out. Where am I? Yeah. Let's just click. Oh, I was in the menu. Okay. I think this width is way too much. Because once we get that middle ramp in here, scale that middle ramp out, it's gonna make it come out. Totally. Okay. Select that as well. We're going to duplicate it. Snap. Probably right into the other one. To grab it, rotate it around. Completely around. Over here. And we snap it to. Nice. Guess it's wrong. Oh, you know what? I'm probably not snapping. Oh, right. What am I talking about? We got this slope here. Can't do that. That's not bad. I'm not sure exactly how we're snapping right now, but that's actually pretty good. We'll have our doorway there. Okay. And then we're gonna want to select that. We're gonna want to select that one. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Oh, cool. So they consider. I never noticed that before. The snapping action, separate action from the so if you undo after it snaps, then you're actually going to undo just the snap. That's really useful. It's really helpful. It's a separate action that happens after your movement. So right before you let go, it sort of saves off where you are. Yeah, that's way too thin already, you can tell. Take a look at how wide it actually is. It undoes the snap, but not the movement. Which is pretty cool. I get a keylogger so anybody watching can sort of like from what I'm doing. Yeah, this feels right. That feels right. Okay, so got that. Now we just select that, and this one, we duplicate it again, and we find the duplicates. Where's your duplicate? Oh, it's all the way over here. And we snap them into one another. Oh. Snap them into one another. Then bring them over. Let me snap. Surely there's a way to snap down here. Did before? No? Nothing? Okay. Well, let's snap there at least. Bring it over here. Door. What do we do? Did I turn on movement type for the... I did. Hold on. Change move type. Yep. I'm not on world. Okay, so I gotta go back over here and let's snap into position first. No, snap into this thing, please. Okay, maybe it'll snap onto there now? No, nothing. Okay, snap to there. There we go. Now I want to bring it over here. It just moved it. Alright, I want to turn off snapping. Move it just to the right. And somehow I still moved away from the... It's like... Unless I moved this door after. I mean, I know I scaled it, but did I move it? No, I didn't. It's just like that. And I'm sure that I will snap a plate down there to that corner and then be able to line up this one by snapping it to the plate, assuming that it will allow me to actually snap to that plate. That's all I wanted to do. Just wanted to free myself from this. So we lined up with the door, but we actually want to line up with the line down there, but I'm trying to... Didn't change the height, which means we just need to make sure it does disappear into the wall. Okay, now, as you can see, we now have a gap. That's not what we want. But we're going to select this, and this, 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 and this, and this, and this. I want to move them all over to match here. Also want to only move them over. That's going to be interesting. I want to make a huge number of adjustments. There. Pixel perfect. Alright, now we know how wide that needs to be. And I didn't do a terrible job eyeballing it, but it's definitely too big. And, yeah, it's pretty nice. Okay, let's do it. This one and that one scaled. Ah, yeah. I scale things one at a time. I wish, like, whenever you scale, you're rotating, you can change the pivot point up on the D-pad, where the pivot point can be in the middle, or it can be at its like base over here, right? And the same thing does not apply to this, unfortunately. You can't change your pivot point. You can't change your scale point either. If I could put the scale point over here right now, or on a side at all, then it would be really helpful. Fortunately, I can't do that. And those floor textures almost match up perfectly. They're just like this. Really convincing. Wait, does that actually match up perfectly? Did I scale that just right? Huh. Well, okay, here's what we're gonna do then. You may not have noticed this, but you've got your object mode. You got your size. And our Y is what we're working with. So if we go like this, we can click, Control C, click over there, press. Yeah, where's the I mean, I'm on the mouse and keyboard. You'd think I would just be using mouse and keyboard, but how do I look around the mouse and keyboard? Oh, okay. I thought so. This is actually way better. Why have I been using... Oh my gosh. This is... man. How do I move up and down? Camera up is space. Really? That's so... Oh my gosh. I've been doing this all wrong. Look at this. This is so much faster. Okay. Forge menu. R. Okay, cool. Size Y. Control V. Man, this is gonna really boost my production speed. Alright, so then we're going to go hit escape. And you toggle into move mode. Control W goes into move mode. Can I just... Oh my god. Are you kidding me? I honestly didn't even try this. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm sitting here trying to do Forge mode like a console. Player. Purely because I'm so used to playing controller. That's not what I wanted. Control Z. So just wanted to get in close and see what that gap is without the selection line. Is there a gap? There is no gap here. No gap here. Okay, we're looking at a proper base now. Now then, I guess we gotta determine if this is correct. Because that's gonna determine if I need to bring this railing in, which will actually give me the gap with the metal a bit. Column. Because we currently have, you know, this all scaled right. Now we need to bring this in to make the width of this match on, you know, both systems. Actually, you know what? I need to put that wall. I need to know how wide this is. Because I might actually have to still adjust this back out. Like, if I have to make these doors wider. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Let's see. Camera look is this. This does nothing. You know what? Settings. Which it would be really kind of cool. Movement and sensitivity. Forge. Vehicle. Theater. Attack map. Did I skip Forge? Is this Forge here? On foot. Zoom. Sensitivity. Huh. I don't think they have Station Theater Observer. Yeah, okay. They don't have the ability to edit any of the controls for Forge. I was hoping to be able to press down the middle mouse button instead of using the right mouse button. But I think that they kept it free of being bound to only accepting, you know, inputs from, yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, so this one here is still bothering me, and I may end up having to, like, that color difference is really annoying, and I might end up having to, I might very well have to fix that. Okay. I'm gonna build out this wall. I'm just gonna put a plate there that's the right size for now, because this one is gonna go, don't think on the wall floor. Let me go remind myself what this looks like. Okay, we've got yeah, no, it's up there, so we need to plate this down here. Come straight down. And actually, it probably should go into a block, but I can actually make no, that might be obvious. A plate going all the way up might be better. I don't know. Find out. But the biggest thing is that that's not what I want. Yeah, it's even control, so yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. Using a mouse and keyboard, I mean a controller for Forge seems okay. Just gonna have to get more proficient with that right mouse button, because that's not how I do it in Blender, and that's really throwing me off. Okay, so if I select this and I go, what is it? Control. You go to move mode. Select this. Control W. Enters move mode. Right? Was that it? Control plus W. Yeah. Okay. Then I can just move it on exact angles. Jesus. Not what I was thinking. And I can undo. Okay, and then no, escape goes out of that. How do you get out of? Deselect all, duplicate, delete. So if I just deselect it, it's gonna finalize my move. Okay. And then I can hit R, go here. Alright. Columns, plates, cover, crates. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. It's like learning controls all over again. Floors, railings, ramps, walls. Go. You have some angled walls with doorways in them. I don't think I want a wall that has all this extra color on it. Actually, no, that one didn't. Wall standard A. That's it. That's what we're doing. How do we activate snapping here? Magnet on M. Makes sense. My zoom is all wonky. How do I speed up? Camera up, down. I think it's probably shift. Okay. Boost is hold down shift. What I want to do. Okay. Control W. We're gonna camera up, camera down, lock on, hold camera to look. Toggle move speed is Z. Okay, there we go. Okay, just had to find that real quick. That's not what I wanted. Maybe it's what I wanted. Control W. Okay. Where's redo? I got undo down, but where's redo? I don't see a redo button. Quick save. That's cool. Okay. So control Z is undo. It's control shift. Okay. So control shift Z is redo. Okay. I'm still used to control Y being redo, which is how it was with some programs. There was a magnet popped up for just a second. Okay, I've got this is up, sure, but what's down again? Camera down is C. Okay. So up and down. That's a little wonky. Don't know if I like that. That's not what I'm trying to do. Grab just green. There we go. That's what I was going for. Now what I might do... What? Okay, apparently I messed something up. Undo on something. Just the green arrow, please. Here we go. Really? Now you're losing my magnet. Oh, okay. That works. Perfect. Okay. So these controls are a little unusual, but I'm getting used to them. Okay. Okay, so how do you get into scale mode then in this version? Control C and Control R, I mean, is scale mode, and just, ooh, that's a little bumpy. Very jittery. Is there something, do I have to do something to fix that?